Hello everybody, I'm Kyle and this is Cooking with Kyle. Now if you're watching this video, you probably know of me from such places as high school or family reunion. But what you may not know is that I love to cook. It's a great way for me to relax. It's cathartic, it blows some steam off. Plus I just love the creativity behind it, of creating something from nothing. And that I love sharing with the people that I love, my friends, my family, anyone off the streets. Well, today we're going to cook that American classic, the corn dog. Now, I live in the UK, and so not everything is available for the corn dogs that I necessarily prefer, but we can make do, and this is where, again, your imagination comes in cooking. You're not always given what you want. That's okay. You make do. You create something with what you have. And trust me, even if you don't have everything in the house that you need for corn dogs, don't worry. You can still make a very successful dish and one that's going to please everyone there to eat it.
Okay, before we get started here, the one thing you need to do is lay out all of the tools you're going to need for your cook. What we have here is good non-stick tin foil. You're going to need that. That's going to be what the corn dogs get placed on. The foil is going to get placed on a baking sheet. Any kind of baking sheet, cookie sheet, pizza pan, muffin pan, anything that's oven safe and that can rest in the oven with your corn dogs on top, perfect. You can do anything you want. And then the most important ingredient of the day and the most important tool you're going to need, a box of corn dogs. Now you see here I've got Tesco brand corn dogs. These come from the United Kingdom. So obviously not ideal. The American corn dogs, far superior. But we can make do with what we've got. I mean, look, you're using your imagination here. You're creating a dish. And so sometimes you're going to be stuck with inferior ingredients. That's okay. You can still cook with the same passion you would have if you had the best possible corn dogs in your possession. So even though we've got these corn dogs that look, I mean, we've got a long little stick here, tiny little corn dog. It's more of a corn dog lollipop than anything else, but you still can make the most out of it. And this will be a dish fit for the queen herself. Now, one problem, as you note right here, 190 degrees Celsius. Celsius is some kind of made up little chart of degrees that is not really a thing, and that can be problematic. So really, this is something that you have to look out for when cooking here in Europe. Never ever use this degree measurement. Celsius, bad.
Let's talk about Celsius for a second. It's a scam. Rudolf Celsius was a guy who was a big noted scam artist and anarchist and just wanted to wreak havoc around the world. So he created this random scale that people now have used for temperatures for years. The problem is that nobody actually knows what Celsius means. Now, if you're going to be cooking this, you want to cook in Fahrenheit. You're not going to want to cook in Celsius, okay? So, pro tip, do not cook in Celsius ever. In fact, it's been shown that the leading cause of house fires are people who are cooking in Celsius. Don't be a victim. Don't cook in Celsius. Now, one of the problems is that nobody knows how to actually create make the conversion from Celsius to Fahrenheit. There simply is no mathematical formula available to allow you to go from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Don't you worry, because you're going to know that because you're watching this video. So while everybody else is struggling to cook in Celsius because they bought their brand of corn dogs from Tesco, you are going to know exactly how to cook them because I'm going to tell you how much that is in Fahrenheit.
Okay, so we're going to go from our package, ignoring the 190 degrees Celsius because that's not a thing. We're going to come down here to our oven and we're going to set this for 375 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason you know that is because I have done the hard work for you. I've experimented over years. Trust me, 375 is the optimal temperature for corn dogs. I don't know what in the world 190 degrees Celsius is supposed to be. Now we go ahead and turn the oven on. Voila, we've got a light going on, and we are now preheating our oven, and we are ready to move on. So first things first, let's put the foil in place. And there's foil. Let's do the corn dogs. Corn dogs. Now the fun thing here, and this is really where you can let your creativity go to work, is right now I've got the corn dogs lined up in your standard 6 corn dog row, but you can go wild right now and do anything you could possibly imagine. You can make a star. You can make a 6-hour clock. How about a corn dog menorah? Nothing says Happy Hanukkah and I respect your Judaism more than a corn dog menorah. Or my personal favorite, a lattice. This is how I'm going to cook these for you today because I think the design is obviously delightful, but it allows for you to grab the sticks furthest away from each other's stick so you don't accidentally grab the wrong corn dog as you're taking it off the tray. This may sound like a nonsensical, not big of a problem kind of a thing. You would be wrong. Trust me, I am the professional. You are the student. This is the way to go. The corn dog lattice, assuming, of course, you're not celebrating Hanukkah.
Okay, now that our oven has been preheated, our corn dogs are in place in our lattice position, it's now time to place the corn dogs in the oven. So let's go ahead and do that now.
Now be careful when you're opening the oven door. It is hot in there, as you can see. Woo, definitely hot. Now let's grab our corn dogs. Now again, pro tip number 2. I like to put my corn dogs in on the bottom rack. Now some people think, well, the heat rises. Why would you want them on the bottom rack? Well, because look at this. I can see how the corn dogs are doing without having to open the oven door. If they're on the top rack, I can't do that. So always go low rack so that you don't have to open the door. Remember, we're cooking smarter, not harder.
Now that our corn dogs are cooking though, Kyle, how long do we cook the corn dogs for? Good question. Now the box says 18 to 20 minutes. I like to cheat on the crispier side and go towards 20 minutes because the little nubbin of cornmeal there at the end of the stick, it is absolutely delightful when it's well done. So definitely go for the 20 minutes on the 18 to 20 minute scale. Always, however, make sure you set a timer because, well, things get away from you. All of a sudden you've burned the house down and you weren't even using Celsius. Okay, so our timer has gone off. It's time now to take the corn dogs out of the oven. But just like our prep, before we began cooking them, we need to get the tools in place before we bring the corn dogs out of the oven. So let's go ahead and do that now.
First, we're going to need a plate. And of course, the condiments to go with the corn dogs. Nothing goes better with corn dogs better than French's yellow mustard. If somebody tries to tell you that some other mustard is the way to go, some kind of snooty Grey Poupon or some kind of, heavily seeded mustard, reject those people right away. French's mustard, classic yellow mustard, the way to go. And of course, nothing better than Heinz tomato ketchup. Now, I know there are some people who say you never put ketchup on a hot dog. Well, A, these are corn dogs, and B, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. If they tell you not to have ketchup on your hot dog, you tell them not to talk to you anymore because you can do whatever you want. Hot dogs, corn dogs, that's America. Freedom, that's America. Eating tomato ketchup on whatever you want, that's America. All right, moving on. Tools. That tray is going to be hot. You're going to need to protect your hand. Crab claw hot pad. Best way to go. Get one now. And then, of course, because the corn dog is meat, obviously cornmeal, which is cornmeal, and then, of course, your tomato ketchup, which gives you the vegetable. You still need some dairy to make it a balanced meal. So while I have been finishing up cooking, I brought out some dairy, little Doritos cheese, nacho cheese sauce with, of course, Tostitos, even more corn. I'm really heavily on the corn today because this is going to be a very healthy and nutritious, balanced meal. So let's go ahead and get into the oven now. I've got my crab claw on. Let's go ahead and look at these beauties. Careful. When you open this up, a wave of heat comes out. Just be careful. You don't want to burn your eyebrows off. We grab the corn dogs like so. We're going to hold them steady. Remember, these things are round. They roll. So hold them steady. Hold them flat. Then you're going to drop them right there onto the cooktop. Now we're going to go ahead and close this. And this is an important step. Remember always, turn off your oven. All right? Some people forget to turn off their oven, And then what happens? You stress about it the rest of the day. You're worried. Did I turn my oven off? I don't know. Don't worry. Now that you always do that right away, you're good to go. Now look at these corn dogs. Oh my goodness, how beautiful are they? They look amazing. So we're now going to go ahead and prep our plate here. Let's get this out of the way. Shake the mustard. You get a little water. You don't want to squeeze water onto your plate, so you shake the mustard. Still going to get a little water, but it's okay. And obviously, we're going to need mustard. Sometimes it makes a little fun fart noise. If you've got 12-year-olds in the neighborhood, go ahead and let them experience that. They'll get a good kick out of it. Even some 46-year-olds. Oh, more farting noise. All right. So that is needing that we need more mustard, but it certainly is a delight when that happens. Okay, and then now we're going to go ahead and shake up the tomato ketchup because, again, it can get a little watery. Sadly, the ketchup doesn't fart quite as well as the mustard, but let's get this thing open. Hard to do in one hand. Apologies for the camera work. Go ahead and take Dramamine if you're getting physically nauseated by this. And here we go with the tomato ketchup right next to the mustard. And here we go. There it comes. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Close that ketchup up. And back to the corn dogs. You're going to want to grab the corn dog by the stick, okay? Don't grab the actual dog. No. That's hot. You want to grab the stick. Now, the stick can be a little hot, too. But typically, it's not. Oh, look at that. Look at that color. Oh, yes. Perfect cook. Perfect cook, everybody. All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and put all of these onto the plate. Like so. Plate getting... Oh, my goodness. How beautiful is that? Let's go ahead and mix them up here. Because obviously, you're going to be grabbing them by the stick. So go ahead and have the stick hang off the edge of the plate. Makes it easy for you. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and taste one of these bad boys, okay, right now. Now, one thing you want to do, oh, get it. Oh my goodness, that color, fantastic. A little ketchup, a little mustard. Go ahead and swirl it around that tip. Swirl it around that tip. Oh yeah, doesn't that look lovely? That looks absolutely lovely.
Now for the pièce de résistance. Hot. Oh. Hot. Okay, so sometimes the corn dogs can be hot and you can burn the inside of your mouth. That's okay. It just means the corn dog's good. Look, how many times do you love eating pizza? How many times do you burn the roof of your mouth? You keep going back to the pizza, right? Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's bad at all. So, in fact, if you burn your mouth on your corn dog, it's a sign that you've done a really, really good job in making your corn dog. So, yeah. I'm going to feel that one. But that's okay. This is all part of the eating experience. Eating and cooking is not for wimps, all right? Yeah, you're going to get injured a little bit. That's okay. That's part of it. That's part of life. And you got great little scars now inside your mouth. Tell a story. Tell a story. Every scar is a different chapter in your life. So I'm going to go ahead and eat some more of these. Now the ketchup and the mustard is from right out of the refrigerator, so it can help cool it down. So if it's too hot, go ahead and just load up on ketchup and mustard. That's a cricket. Yeah. A little hot. A little hot, Phil. Ooh, a little hot. A little hot. A little more water. A little more water. Oh, but again, it's all right. It's all part of the experience. All right, my friends. This has been Cooking with Kyle, and you can now cook a corn dog.